Did you call bank? I call game.
What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube? Back for another episode of Charge It to the Game Sports Podcast. As you can see, we're all here today. What's good, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, man. So back for another episode. We're really gonna dig in today, man. So we're gonna be talking some NFL post-draft talk. Talking NFL free agency. What are these draft moves? What are some of these free agent moves in the offseason mean to some of these teams? Maybe like a Cleveland. I mean, they had a great draft, great offseasons, some free agency signings. Do these signings take them over the hump? And then after that, we're going to get into some NBA talk, man. NBA playoffs is right around the corner. A ton to get to. The play-in game, who plays who. These teams fighting for positioning. Do the Bucks hold on? To clinch, the first seed in the East. And then we're going to probably close out with the bets, man. So before we get started, if you're on the YouTube page, be sure to hit the like button, throw a few comments in there, and then we're on all major platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major platforms. So let's jump into it, fellas. So what do you want to chat about, man? Like I said, we got so much to talk about around the NFL. With a lot of these new moves, I want to talk about Cleveland, man. I just think Cleveland's just so intriguing.
Rome wants to talk about Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying, Jay. So give these guys the spiel of how I was viewing Cleveland, because I'll be the first one to let you know right now. I thought they was just one of them teams that were badly coached, but these dudes is balling, man. I mean, go ahead, Jay.
Nah, I mean, we always knew we had the talent. Me and Rome have had conversations prior to this, and he always said that the Browns, Baker's a bum. I was on the other side of saying that, Baker can be all right. He don't have to be great, but they still have talent. He's like, I don't care. They're the fucking Cleveland Browns. I'm like, all right. He's like, they're gonna have a terrible record. They're not gonna do shit. And I said, okay.
You're right. I did say that. I can't hold you. I'm one to own up to it. If I'm wrong about it, I'm gonna let you know. So I mean, Baker's still trash to me. He still can't throw the fucking ball, but the thing is, he doesn't have to. Like, I just didn't know Cleveland's supporting cast was that damn good, man. I mean, you got the best offensive line in the NFL, and then on top of that, in the draft,
I mean, you got to think they have been horrible for 21 years. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so I mean, all those. Yeah, so I guess all those draft picks kind of added up, right, Z?
Well, 21 years. Ain't nobody that's 21 been in the league 21 years. So I mean,
what is it? They've had. I think
it might have been longer than that. Might have been longer.
They've had. Years. Yeah, they've had 27 quarterbacks in 21 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
true.
And a whole bunch of head coaches.
Yeah.
Was it 8 head coaches?
Yeah. Turnover rate is crazy.
Yeah.
Turnover rate's crazy.
I think their coaching staff now is solid.
Oh, what is it? 2 owners, multiple owners, multiple GMs, multiple coaches.
Yeah, a lot of turnover, But I mean, that's all.
They made the playoffs. They made the playoffs last year, so they get to start off from a different perspective now. Now they're going to be the hunted. Versus the hunters.
They can't sneak up on people because people know about them now, man. I mean, if you look at them down the list, you got the best offensive line in the NFL. Your defensive line is stout. You got a steal in Greg Newsome at cornerback. I mean, the other guy on that they just drafted, he's been a little hurt and banged up. Greedy Williams. I mean, he's still a young guy. Maybe he can flip the switch to transition into the NFL. He hasn't really had a great season. And Odell was out. I mean, the arguably the best receiver.
So on the other side, Denzel Ward is good at corner.
Yeah.
They signed John Johnson and Troy Hill, both from the Rams.
I forgot about that.
So Troy Hill will play corner, and then Johnson will be a safety, which he'll be a huge upgrade. They have the LSU guy coming back, Grant Delpit, who was injured all year last year, is another safety that will get to be thrown in the mix as well. So They have depth. I think they got a steal in Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. Rumor was that one of the doctors from the team said he may have a heart problem, so that's why he slipped from the first round. But the Browns doctor said they were okay with his medicals, and that was a reason he was rated as a top 15 player, and dropped all the way to the second round. So
yeah, that was a good pickup.
Yeah, so he could be an extra first rounder, an extra first round talent that they can add to the team, which would be good for them. Ronnie Harrison's a good safety, former first round pick. Mm-hmm. I think it was a second round pick from Alabama, who they got. They picked up last year in free agency. So he'll help them. Offensively, they're strong. They can run the ball. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt is a good 1-2 punch. Receivers are strong. They did draft Anthony Schwartz, who was the fastest receiver in the draft.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
To have somebody to help him stretch the field, which is what they were lacking on offense, since most of their targets were more
possession.
Possession reps. Underneath guys, yeah. So, I think Cleveland, like I said, they just got a solid squad. I ain't gonna spend all day on them. They're just one of those teams. Now, they had
Odell's a question mark. So what's gonna happen with Odell?
What's gonna happen to him? What do you think?
That's a good question.
Yeah, they played better without him.
Yeah, they did. I don't think Baker knows how to handle really big multiple targets. I think when he has an idea saying this is my number one, then I can decide between 2 and 3, and knowing that's fine. But yeah, deer in the headlights. We got 2 number ones.
Yeah, I guess. My biggest thing is with Odell. I just think that, he really just got there, and you can clearly see the connection that Baker and Jarvis Landry have. Jarvis Landry is Baker's guy. I just think he hasn't really built that rapport with Odell. I think he will.
Yeah. He doesn't complain as much as Odell.
Yeah, Odell's more of that guy. Odell's still a great receiver. He's just playing with the wrong quarterback. Baker Mayfield ain't gonna go. Baker Mayfield ain't gonna go out there and sling that thing.
That's the key for Cleveland. It's gonna be Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
If he turns the ball over, they have issues.
Oh yeah. If Cleveland starts, putting the ball in the air, they have no shot. You know what I mean? Their biggest thing is play action, run, play action, pull it. These guys run wide open. The formula, what they did last season, because if they start relying on Baker Mayfield's arm and Baker Mayfield starts to feel like I'm here now, like I'm a passer, I'm Josh Allen, bro, you're not. Okay? So listen to your coaching staff.
Disrespect.
How is that disrespectful, bro?
Nah, I get you, but
is he Josh Allen to you, bro?
Nah, he's definitely not Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a madman. He is truck people. So
Baker doesn't have that size. He doesn't have that speed.
Baker
he has moxie. Baker won't back down. You got to give that to him.
Yeah, moxie and shifty, but that's about it.
Yeah, I want to talk a little. What do you guys think about what the since we were talking about Odell, let's talk a little bit about Green Bay. If Aaron Rodgers returns to Green Bay, do you think Cleveland will be possibly – they're saying that possibly they're trying to entice Aaron Rodgers. I was reading an article that they're possibly looking and waiting and wanting to hear if Cleveland wants to deal Odell or if the Falcons want to go ahead and move on from Julio Jones, man. So if can you imagine if Julio Jones or Odell Beckham goes to
the quarterback?
Well,
Julio already has a quarterback, but
I'm talking about Julio or Odell going to Green Bay in a trade.
That's ridiculous.
Can you imagine that? Adams and then
it makes sense. Adams is in the last year of his deal, so he's
See, I was reading the article. I don't know how realistic it is, but they're talking because Atlanta's really thinking about dealing Julio, man.
Aaron's issue is personal with their GM though, so he wants the GM out.
Right. Yeah. Green Bay. Like I said, I just don't know what Aaron Rodgers comes. I just think he gets dealt. I just think there's too much turmoil there.
Yeah.
And then if Aaron leaves Green Bay, Green Bay is not going to do nothing.
They are absolutely below average team.
Exactly.
Or they could play hardball, force him to retire, which.
Yeah, I think he would do that. I mean, I was listening to what Brett Favre was talking about. He knows Aaron. He takes it personal, blah 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 blah. And Aaron does strike me that way. He might actually, ask them to trade him, and then if they're like no, he really might sit out. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they really disrespected my man.
Like, 2 years back to back.
Le'Veon Bell all over again. Let's sit out the season.
Yeah, I mean,
and
then think about that. What did Le'Veon? How much did sitting out that season do to hurt him?
But he's a quarterback, though. Bell is a running back. I mean, quarterback is a little bit different animal because you can drop back, and it's more of a mental game. And Brady has shown that than an athletic game. And Bell, he didn't really seem like he's that motivational guy. Aaron Rodgers, like that guy. He might just be.
Imagine that he gave up his 25-year-old season in the NFL to sit at home and do nothing.
Yeah.
And look at him now. He's a free agent, signed with nobody.
You're right. I haven't heard nothing from him.
Can't find a job with nobody.
Man.
So he'll be out of the league at 28 and gave up year 25.
Somebody will probably sign him. I don't know who will, but I think somebody will kick the tires. He's still young, but his running style is just so weird. Like he would just get the ball, he would wait for the blocks to set up, and then he would go. He wouldn't hit the hole. But the thing is, I mean,
back then the Steelers had the best offensive line in football.
You did with the Castro, and then this was when Villanueva was pretty decent, good. Like he was okay.
You said decent good. You gotta pick one, brother.
I just said he wasn't great at a decent good. Like he was He was better than what he was last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ramon Foster, guard. I mean, they had a stout line. I mean,
I can imagine.
Best lines in the league back then. But
I mean, how you feeling about your Steelers, man, with the draft? I mean, you guys did need that running back. I mean,
I'm pumped with if you could combine the draft and the undrafted free agents they signed, because a lot of the guys they signed are really exceptional players who had injuries, and so if that can pan out, it's it could be something special. I mean, the defense could be special. The weakness is still going to be the offensive line because, I mean, yes, they got to replace 3 guys on the offensive line. And so there are 3 huge questions on the offensive line. And Ben can't move like he used to move. That is going to be the key to the Steelers season. If they're able to run the ball, they got
to run the ball better.
And I think the key is going to be Kendrick Green, the 3rd-round pick, center. Looks like like Pouncey's twin. And then the Steelers going to let him wear 53. He had a talk with Pouncey, and Pouncey said, "Yes, I want you to wear my number." And so Pouncey was always his favorite player. He always wore 53 at Illinois, and so he's going to be. I mean, it's going to be crazy. 1 year after Pouncey retired, the next center is going to come in and take that 53 and play center.
That's all right.
But I mean, center is the one position I trust the Steelers because every center they've had has been a Hall of Famer, from Mike Webster in the 70s to Monty Dawson to Marquise Pouncey. And then the next guy is Green now. So the last 3 guys, I think Pouncey's a Hall of Famer as well. So the last 3 guys are Hall of Famers. And then the new kid takes a baton.
Yeah, I mean, they've been really good about drafting some center guard combinations.
They have.
I mean, may they struggle drafting tackles, or maybe even a free agency.
They never draft tackles.
They're a dime a dozen, man. I mean,
well, no, but look at it though. The last 20 years, Steelers been picking 23rd to 30th.
Yeah, because
and they love defense. They draft defense every year.
Yeah,
and that's why the defense is strong.
I think
I can't remember.
This is the first year where they went offense. I mean,
they needed offense, though, man.
Oh.
That's true.
Now the key is gonna be Zach Banner, who was supposed to be starting tackle last year, tore his ACL in the first game of the season and missed the rest of the year. First game, tore his ACL, and so he's gonna be back, and so it's a question mark. I mean, he literally was a backup for 3 years, won the starting job, played 2 quarters, and blew out his ACL.
Wow. Very unfortunate.
That's trash.
Yeah,
And so,
really unfortunate, man.
So now it's really he was on the bench for 3 years. He played 2 quarters. And then now he's coming back, and he's going to be. I mean, they re-signed him. His contract ended last year after the ACL.
They must think he can play, or they got some type of faith. They're not going to just sign you back.
He's a good right tackle. He's really good. I mean, he's huge. He's a little quicker than Villanueva. He's a really good right tackle. I mean, he's 6'9", 345.
Oh, that's a big guy. 6'9", 345.
Yeah, so he's huge.
Yeah, he's got ideal size. It's just a matter of getting him on the field and seeing what he can do. I mean, if he's that damn big, he better be able to do something, man.
So he'll be the right tackle. I'm confident. I mean, between Dotson, who was a draft pick last year, who I thought was their best offensive lineman last year. Mm-hmm. He was their 4th round pick last year, Kevin Dotson. So he's really solid at guard. They got the rookie Kendrick Green. We'll see. He'll be starting at center. DeCastro is, at this point, just solid. Right. He's not the Pro Bowler he used to be, even though technically he made the Pro Bowl last year. I don't know how he made the Pro Bowl last year. I watched every game. But they voted him as a starter in the Pro Bowl. So I guess
I'm not going to knock that.
Sometimes the same guy you voted for 8 years in a row, you just plug that name in. But I watched every snap, and last year was the first year where he was not a Pro Bowl player. But according to the NFL, he made the Pro Bowl. So I think the middle is good between DeCastro, Dotson, and Green. Green is a rookie. We'll see. Banner is a question mark coming off injury. The weakness is going to be Chuks Okafor at left tackle, covering Ben's backside, and he's the weakest offensive lineman.
I don't even know who dude's name is. I never heard even.
So he started last year for Banner when Banner got hurt. So he played the whole year. He didn't play well the whole year. Yeah. So on the glass half full look, well, he has 15 games and a playoff game experience.
Yeah.
Glass half empty, he has 15 games in a playoff game, a very average play. So,
I mean, with the Steelers just need O-line. If the Steelers get their O-line short up, they'll be in the thick of things back where they should be. They
did sign Joe Haig from the Bucks as
the guy who dropped the goddamn touchdown
as a backup swing tackle. So we'll see if he could do anything.
Man, let's move. I got an intriguing team, man. I want to talk a little bit about Tennessee, man. I don't think Tennessee is getting a lot of love. Tennessee's out there, man. Tennessee.
They keep drafting criminals.
Man, stop it. Hold up. What do you mean? Who they draft? That's a criminal, the little fat old lineman. They didn't draft him, though.
No, last year their first round pick.
Oh yeah, the guy. Yeah.
The first round pick is already gone. Isaiah Wilson, tackle, gone.
I forgot about
I mean, this year they're the
third round, I think.
Yeah, from Pitt. He's got legal problems now too. And
my gosh!
Warrant out for his arrest for
he'll be all right.
For I guess assaulting a woman in a bar. So.
Yeah, I did, but I mean Tennessee. If you look at them, man, they got a solid squad. They only needed a few more pieces, if you ask me. They did let Corey Davis go. Right. But they had a solid draft. I mean, they got the best corner in the draft in Caleb Farley. I knew he had that back issue. Like I was texting you guys during the draft. I was like, pray and I hope that Caleb Farley falls to the Bucks, but it didn't happen, man. To me, he's the best corner in the draft. He's a lockdown defender. If his back problem is going, if his back problem was going before the draft, he will be the best corner in the draft. Yeah.
He had back surgery in February, so he'll be ready by the season.
Yeah,
without doubt, should be ready.
But one of the reasons that he fell is, I mean, the lingering effects. They think his back. That's why J.C. Horn and those other guys jumped up.
Is he still a 4-3 guy with after back surgery?
Man,
they don't know.
I mean, but a corner like that, and a lot of Titans fans,
good.
Yeah, I mean, who was the corner they let go? Was it Dory Jackson? I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they let him go, but you got Caleb Farley. I mean, you got him, and then you bring in. They had a pretty decent offseason I understand, they had Janoris Jenkins at corner, who's a veteran corner.
Yeah.
They had bringing Kevin Johnson from the Browns, who was Kevin Johnson, man. They brought in him.
So I forgot in the draft they took what is it? The guy Molden, Elijah Molden from Washington, whose dad is Eric Molden, who played in the league for a number of years, had a 10-year NFL career at corner.
Yeah, and then they added Bud Dupree. Dupree was an edge guy.
Yeah.
Molden's problem was size, but his skill set was elite as a corner. It's just he's not a big guy. So he's 5'9", so that's his issue. But his dad played 10 years in the league, so he knows something about the league.
And then they bring in Danico Autry, who's like an edge/defensive lineman who played with the Colts. I mean, Tennessee's a sneaky team because they're in that division. Check this out. They're in a division with the Jaguars, Colts with a shaky Carson Wentz. And who's the other team? Who's the other team? Titans, Jags, Colts, and who else? Texans. I mean, that's why. That's why I couldn't remember. Yeah.
So Jacksonville.
They Tennessee. Have nobody in that division, man.
Nobody.
They're gonna run away with the division.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's East.
If you think Carson Wentz is gonna come in and be that dude now,
it always comes down to them and the Colts. I mean, really.
Not this year.
Houston got issues. Jacksonville got issues. So.
Yeah, I mean, they got two. Put it this way. Houston and the Jags are easy wins to me. I mean, especially with a team like that. I mean, you got King Henry, Tannehill, who was a MVP in the MVP running for a decent period of time during the season, and then you got a weak schedule. Well, a weak schedule in the division. We'll see who they play along the way. So I mean, Tennessee is one of those teams, man. They're shaking up like they're going to be my betting team. Let's just put it that way. So I like Tennessee. What do you guys think about the Dallas, man? I mean, Dallas. Scrubs. Come on, man. Like I know I feel the hate. I feel it, but I mean, Dallas. They didn't have a quarterback last year, man. I mean, they did get some defensive pieces. I mean, Dallas can do that.
Defense got to shake up. I mean, outside of them being scrubs in general, that defense is going to what? The defense is almost like that defense is absolutely horrid. I'm sorry, I do not believe in any defense flipping around and being that much better the next year with them. I'm sorry.
I mean, they drafted defensive players. If any of them, so Michael Parsons is a good player.
Yeah. Yes, best defensive player in the draft.
Yeah, so that's their first player. The corner from Kentucky is.
He could be good. He could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I like the pick they took. What is it? I think it was in the fourth round. It was that linebacker from LSU who kept dropping for I don't know why. Jabril Cox.
Yeah.
That was a steal of the draft. Like that's one of the reasons. That was one of the reasons because I was looking at it. I was just like,
fourth round pick. I mean, I did.
Yeah. So, I mean, where does he go, though? Like, I mean, is he a starter or do you convert him to safety? What?
No, so he will be a rotational linebacker because since they didn't pick up the fifth-year option on Leighton Vander Esch. So he's going to be gone after next year.
They might. I think they're in a position. They're going to be switching back between running a 4-3 and a 3-4. So I mean, if
Sean Lee retired, so fine. So he'll be gone. So
So I mean, if they run that 3-4 defense,
plugs in right there.
Yeah, if they run that 3-4 defense, if they can find three solid defensive linemen, and then they're set at the linebacker spot with Jalen Smith. The guy, they just drafted
Parsons, and then Cox is another speed guy too. They can put in there. So
so I mean that's a solid linebacking core, and then we'll see what those corners can do. Maybe they can run a different coverage or whatnot. They're just interesting to me. I mean, because their offense. I mean, with Dak back,
they panicked. They wanted to get one of the top two corners.
Oh yeah, they traded back. Yeah, that was just so funny. It was so obvious.
Oh. It went right before. I mean, Carolina taking J.C. Horn, South Carolina product. That surprised everybody because everybody thought they were. Well, a lot of folks thought they'd go offense or offensive line, and they took a corner. And then Denver going corner instead of quarterback.
Yeah.
Right before Dallas. That kind of
See, it's stuff like that I just like. That's why I'm thinking the Titans can actually be in a running, because a lot of these teams thinking, Caleb Farley is not going to be what he once was. Him dropping all the way to the Titans. The Titans were in the thick of things last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he panned out, that'd be crazy. I mean, Titans always been a sneaky team these past few years, right?
So, what do you call it? Randy Gregory will be back for the Cowboys off his 8th or 9th suspension.
He just can't get right, man. He just got it. What is he? Was it drug? Is it drugs? Sports?
Drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude just can't get on the field and do what he needs to do.
Since pre-draft, I mean, he had drug problems in Nebraska.
Man.
And so, but
he just gotta chill out, man.
He'll be back. So that's another.
Right.
And that's why they didn't sign the end Alden Smith, who signed with Seattle, and then got in trouble the day he signed. There's a warrant out for his arrest. I was like, on the day you sign your new contract with your new team, welcome to Seattle.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's one of those. What do you guys think about Seattle, man? Since you brought it up, Z, I mean, they're just one of those teams. I just think they're gonna be there, but they're just gonna lose. They just do the same thing, man.
And they're gonna be a good team and just get there, threaten. They're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna figure out how Russell can get this far, and he's gonna fall flat."
Yeah, Russ. I like Russ, but he just sometimes he comes with small and big games, man. I mean, he really does. I mean, those times when they were going to the Super Bowls and stuff, that was the Legion of Boom. I mean, their defense, Russell didn't really have to do much.
I didn't say that. Yeah, Russell did his thing.
He did his thing, but he didn't have to do his thing like that, bro. If you got Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman, Richard Sherman at that point in time was the best the best corner in the league. Then you had Cam Chancellor, who will knock your head off. You had Bobby Wagner. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had a nice secondary. Brandon Browner, who's a skyscraper of a corner, 6'6", and runs like a 4.4. I mean, they had some guys now.
They did.
Their key is going to be offensive line. Still, same problem every year for Seattle.
Yeah, Russell Wilson running for his life. Did they do anything in the draft, offensive line wise, or free agency? Let me look. Actually, I want to see. I'm curious now.
I don't think they did.
They re-signed their receivers.
Oh yeah, you know that. But...
they didn't really do much. No. I mean, they didn't really put a line around Russell, so he can make plays. I mean, in that division, when you're facing the likes of Aaron Donald, the Bosa.
How does? I forgot. So Seattle only had 3 picks because of the
trade.
The trade with the Jets for the safety.
Yeah, Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamal Adams is a great safety. He's probably one of the top 5 best safeties in the league.
And of course,
he does.
Their first pick was wide receiver from Western Michigan.
I'm just like, why would you take him though? Like he has enough offensive weapons. You got Tyler Lockett. You got you got DK.
Yeah, DK.
Yeah, I mean, for what? Like, I mean, it's another weapon.
Get his man some
they did get and they got the tight end from the Rams, Gerald Everett, who's basically passing tight end deep down the middle. Yeah.
Like we said, they'll get there and fall flat.
Exactly.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's why I want to spend too much time on them.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle ain't going to be there when at the end of the day. I mean, Jay. I mean, are your Raiders going to be there, brother? I mean, let's chat a little bit about them, man. I mean,
We'll skip
the first round pick. Let's start with the second round for the Raiders.
Look, I already talked in depth with that last episode, so I'm gonna make it quick. One, I'm gonna answer your question. No, we're not gonna do anything. We're gonna have a lot of good games. We're gonna have a lot of close games. It may be a good game, maybe a good team betting for the spread, but winning anything.
And the over.
Right now.
And
definitely the over. Definitely the over. If y'all know, he loved that over, man. Over and under. He, you know what I'm saying? He loved it. So
hey, whatever makes the money, man.
Hey, look, I ain't mad at it. So I mean, we're not gonna do anything with it. Like I said, our second round pick.
I'll give him credit. They did draft a safety, so it won't be the automatic over anymore.
He was the best safety in the draft, man. Yeah. I mean, he was the best safety in the draft. I mean, the fact that he fell to you guys in the second round.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, if he can, produce some of that production that he did in college, if he's even a shell of himself, and then the other guy Arnett can come on strong for you guys in the second year. I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I don't know in that division though, bro.
They finally cut Jeff Heath, who was the
he's about time. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, he's horrible. He's out of position all the time.
When he was with Dallas, he was horrible. I mean, he was terrible.
I don't understand it. I will say this though,
and they signed Casey Hayward.
I was just about to say that.
I knew it was one guy. Yeah, Casey Hayward. How you feeling about him, man? He's a baller, man. He's just a little older.
Baller? I mean, look,
Casey Hayward's nice, man.
Wait, he had a down year last year.
Is Gus Bradley their D coordinator?
Gus Bradley is our new DC this year, first year. So
what type of defense do you guys run? What type of defense does he run?
No, they're the Chargers. So basically, attack.
Yeah, that's nothing but attack.
Yeah,
he left his guys on islands then. But I mean, if you guys, I don't think you guys are going to do that.
That's why he went and got his old corner.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they went to go draft a free safety.
He took a look at the Raiders corners. Like, no, I called up Casey. What do you need?
Yeah, that's exactly why. Because we were about to either get Sherman or Casey, right? So that was a two corners.
And look, they still might get Sherman. Sherman was his guy in Seattle.
Yeah, no, we're not getting that. Casey, that's done. We already have a lot of corners now. We need to see we have an Arnett, but that is definitely a tell sign that like one of our corners will probably go.
Yeah,
almost likely will go. And
it was just funny that he took one quick look at
the secondary.
Jeff Heath. And was like, no.
Yeah,
he probably went to Gruden personally. Hey, he got to go. You just got here, but he got to go. He can't play.
He ain't gonna be playing. Yeah, he ain't gonna be playing for me. He plays special teams. He's not gonna be okay on the field when it's all said and done. But I want to chat a little bit about the Bucks before we move on to the NBA side. So the Bucks, they signed everybody back, man. I mean, this, to be honest, I really didn't know much about this defensive end in the draft. It was kind of like a shocker to me. I thought they were going to trade back in that first round, but they did bring everybody back. I mean, Ndamukong Suh, Leonard Fournette, Gronk's coming back. I mean, they're just a solid, stout team, and then all of these guys coming back healthy.
Yeah, key for them is going to be injuries.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they got depth. That's the thing. Yeah. The thing is that for them, they got depth now. I mean, Jason Pierre-Paul, they did draft his replacement in this guy, Joe Tryon, from Washington. And I think Vita Vea played with him, and he was advocating for him to come, so which makes sense now because that was his old, he's familiar with him, familiar with the kid since you both went to University of Washington. So, I mean, I think he can come off the edge and give him some pass rush. What the Bucks like to do with Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea, Sue, and all of those guys. Like you said, I think, like you said, Z, Jay, it just comes down to injuries. But the thing is, they got depth at the receiver position. They got AB, they got Mike Evans, they got Chris Godwin. Yeah. I mean, it's a monstrous receiving core. I mean, I think that's the best in the NFL, if you ask me. Them and maybe Atlanta, barring, we'll see what Pitts is gonna be doing down the line. I mean, the only thing though where I'm scared at is the corner position because I do not.
Here we go.
I just don't. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I was praying that Caleb Farley would fall to them in that first round. I just do not like Carlton Davis, man. He's just out of position all the time. He's more of a bump and run corner, but he's really slow. He needs safety help all the time. Now the other guys are solid though. I do like Jamel Dean and I do like Sean Murphy-Bunting.
They drafted a guy from BYU late.
Yeah, he was late. Yeah, so
I don't know how much impact he will make. Yeah,
he's a special teams guy, but he might if he can get on the field and maybe show some signs.
He's 6'2", 200. So nice.
That's a big corner. Yeah.
Nice.
God, sheesh.
Yeah, it's a big.
He ain't skipped no meals. He went to. God, he made sure that cafeteria had some work.
Yeah, 6'2", 200, man. That's pretty large for a cornerback, man.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, but the thing is, their defensive line is the Bucks defense. That front four and that front seven, even at the linebackers, you got
That's
Devin
ridiculous.
White,
Yeah.
Levante David, who's probably actually better than Devin White. A lot of people don't understand. Devin White makes the splash plays, but Devin White's been doing this, man. He's been doing it for years. He's been a consistent player and one of the best linebackers in the NFL. A lot of people just don't know about him because he played for the Bucks, who were famous for losing. You know what I mean? Before Tom Brady came,
losing.
They were, man.
I mean,
over the past few years, so
besides the Gruden year, the Gruden Super Bowl.
Yeah. But let's move on. Let's chat a little bit about NBA, fellas. So, man, NBA playoffs coming right up around the corner, man. I mean, and a lot of these teams are fighting for a playoff position. The teams that that are fighting for the play-in games and things like that. So I'll start off with the Eastern Conference. So in the Eastern Conference right now, as it stands today, the 76ers are first, Bucks are second, the Nets are third, the Knicks are fourth, the Hawks are fifth, the Heat are sixth, Boston Celtics are seventh, the Hornets are eighth. I think they're gonna fall out. They suck. Pacers are ninth, Wizards are 10th. And the Bulls are 11th. Let's chat about the Eastern Conference side. So what do you guys think?
I mean, look, Philly's the number one seed. I mean, are we talking about the playing tournament? Are we talking about? We're just kind of
anything you want to talk about?
So playing tournament would be seventh place team hosting the eighth place team. So right now, Boston would host Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And then
and Boston would beat Charlotte.
Yeah, the ninth place would host the 10th. And so that means Wizards will be on the road at Indiana, who they play, ironically, on Saturday this evening. But I like the Wizards' chances against Indiana. But they're virtually tied. So the game they play this weekend
means a lot.
Yeah, could flip it. So Wizards could host Indiana instead of that's what's going to either way. Whoever wins this last matchup will probably host the game between the two of them.
I mean, if I'm the Wizards, none of those teams really scare me, man. I mean, the teams at the bottom of that list. I mean, the Wizards are at 10th, the Pacers are ahead of them, the Hornets are ahead of them, the Celtics are ahead of them. Those are all teams that they can beat, man. I mean.
Now look at this. So the key is they win the tournament, then they get the 8th seed and match up with Philly. Wizards have a better matchup to me against Brooklyn
than Philly.
Yeah, who's
you
right
can't
now
guard Embiid.
Tied for second. So, and there's only it's only a 2-game difference between 1, 2, and 3: Philly, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn. So from a Wizards perspective, we're rooting for Brooklyn to win the East, and then and have that 1-8 matchup. Bring on Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like I said, with the Wizards, none of those teams really scare. I mean, if it goes down to the play-on game, I can see them being
with their worst defense in the league.
Oh, I mean, they're not going to beat Brooklyn, though. I mean, if they play them, it'll be a favorable match. They've beat them twice. But I mean, this is the playoffs now, okay?
Wizards are 3-1 against Brooklyn this season.
Hey, I don't know that. It's the playoffs.
And the one game
playoffs. Tell them
the one game they lost, they barely lost. So
yeah,
playoffs are different.
I know it looks like that on paper, Z, but I'm telling you, when the playoffs start,
when you look at the matchups, because Brooklyn keeps trying to put Joe Harris on Bradley Beal,
it won't happen.
And every game, Beal is averaging 42 a game against Brooklyn, and that's the reason they keep matching up Joe Harris on Bradley Beal.
But if they played each other in the playoffs, man, Bradley Beal is an elite scorer. They're not going to stop Bradley.
When they flipped Kyrie on him, Kyrie was worse than Joe Harris trying to guard.
Oh, we know what are the other guys going to do, though? That's the thing. Like, those other guys aren't going to do anything. Russell Westbrook, he might do his little triple-double thing. He ain't going to average 20.
Look at his averages this season against Brooklyn. 26 points.
It's regular season, man.
11 rebounds.
I'm telling you, playoffs is a different story.
He's averaging a triple-double at the season, of course, so he's averaging a triple-double against Brooklyn. But he's averaging a triple-double with almost double his average in points when he plays Brooklyn. He sees Kevin Durant, he goes off.
We will see.
Kevin Durant sees him, he's gonna go.
I'm about to say Kevin Durant, the basket gets a lot more open when that happens.
I'm telling you, playoffs is a different story. The game slows down. They can key in on these guys. Bradley Beal, you can't stop Bradley Beal. He might go off for 30 plus a night. It doesn't matter though. You got James Harden, you got Kyrie Irving, you got Kevin Durant, and then you got the supporting cast of Joe Harris, Landry Shamet. And then
Blake
Griffin.
Blake Griffin. Too much, man.
You know what's hilarious? I'm looking at all the games this season. In 3 out of the 4 games, Wizards. So the guy who's killed him has been Rui Hachimura. They can't cover it. 18 points, 27 points, 21 points against Brooklyn.
Playoffs a different story, man.
Who is Joe Harris? Must be there. Who's their small forward trying to go against Rui?
It's Joe Harris.
It's Joe Harris.
That's their problem defensively.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not even gonna worry. I want to do want to talk about these Knicks though.
They're making Rui look like an all-star.
Man, Wizards ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. They're gonna make it and they're gonna go the fuck home.
Look,
they sound like Russell.
Wizards. Look, all I gotta say is Wizards are 14-1. The last month.
Keep that same energy when the playoffs.
That's all right.
I'm telling you.
That's
good. That's a good record, though. They
are the hottest team in the league ever since that trade with the Bulls.
Hold on, we're having this whole conversation, but they got to make it first.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're in 10th, but they got a full 4-game lead on Chicago. So it's 4-game lead with 5 games to go. So
but if they lose the play-in game, they go home.
Right, because I'm about to say what? Because it's only 1 through 8, right? So they're not even. No,
so basically 9 plays 10. So they'll play Indiana.
Oh, so that goes that deep.
He's saying they're gonna beat Indiana and then they'll be in. Because you gotta play these games though, man.
The way the play-in is Indiana plays Washington, Charlotte plays Boston, and then that's how so basically they just added 4 teams to the playoffs. But the last 4 teams only play a 1-game playoff.
Yeah, man. That's all right.
I want to tell you this right now. Whoever plays the Knicks might catch that L in that first round series, man. I'm looking at it as it stands right now. If the matchup holds up now, they're at 4. They play the Atlanta Hawks. I got them beating the Hawks.
I got them beating the Hawks too.
I got them beating the Hawks.
That's gonna be a good series. Hawks are tough at home.
I ain't worried about that. The Knicks got the number 1 defense in the NBA. Do you know how hard it is to play defense in the NBA? It's virtually impossible. And then you got these guys. You got Julius Randle, who's playing like an MVP candidate, and then you got the kid Barrett? I mean, he's realizing now.
Barrett coming into his own.
He's coming in. They started him off as a point guard. Right now, he's playing like more of the off guard, small forward.
Hawks are 21-11 at home. And the Knicks are 15-19 on the road. So Knicks struggle on the road. Hawks are down.
They struggle a little bit. I think they'll turn up the gas on the playoffs. I
think so too.
Smothering, man. Because it's just like, who's going to guard Julius Randle? They got nobody that can guard him.
They got John Collins. John Collins is nice.
He's nice, but he's not going to go blow for with.
It depends on how Hawks use him. It depends on how Hawks use him. But Hawks got so many.
They got offensive weapons,
So
but I'm saying the Knicks got the number 1 defense, though. That's my biggest thing. They got the number 1 defense.
You're right.
They're going to smother you.
Man, look at these trends. So for the last month, Wizards have had the best record in the East, and Milwaukee is 1 game behind the Wizards for the last 30 games.
I know they're hot. They just got to make the playoffs, though.
That's it.
If they get in, I mean, like I said, they're going to be playing one of the top teams. They just can't beat.
I'm shocked at the free fall of Chicago. Chicago was hot for a long time. And that trade was the turning point where Chicago went crashing and the Wizards went climbing.
I mean,
big shout out to Tommy Shepard. Great trade.
He said great trade.
Chicago wasn't really that great though. They were like bottom feeders, bro. They were like, between like
they were seventh. They were seventh for the.
That's trash though. They weren't scaring nobody. They were still okay team.
They dropped from 7th to 14th since the All-Star break.
But Zach LaVine's been out. He's had COVID. I mean, Zach LaVine he's been an offensive nightmare all season. I mean, once he had the COVID, and then they made the trades and stuff like that's a lot of moving pieces late in the season. You know what I mean?
Next year they're going to be a problem though.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that one now. Now you think they're gonna be a problem next year, Chicago?
Yeah. Next
year,
year.
They all the defensive problem players the Wizards had, they sent them to Chicago. And those same guys are having the same defensive problems in Chicago that they were having in Washington.
That's fine, but you get Buick. They traded the center from Orlando. Give him some time with Zach LaVine. Pat Williams actually been doing pretty good as a rookie in general. White still come along. It's may be a problem.
So LaVine came back. Having LaVine back, I mean, they dominated the Celtics this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They ate them up. They ate them up. They ate them up. You know what I'm saying?
Celtics can't get right, man. I don't even like talking about
LaVine's first 2 games back. I mean, they beat the Hornets 120-99, beat the Celtics 121-99. Basically the same.
Yeah, they're crushing people. Like, bro, I ain't even gonna hold you. They shouldn't be there.
And then
Bulls shouldn't be there. 14, they should not be there.
Where should they be at, bro? They suck. What do you mean? Look where they're at right now. Like, look who's ahead of them. The Wizards are ahead of them. The Pacers are ahead of them. The Hornets, the Celtics, the Heat, the Hawks, the Knicks, the Nets, the Bucks, and the 76ers. Like, where are they supposed to be at?
They should be ahead of Indiana.
But that's one spot. Okay. So I'll give you, if they're ahead of Indiana,
they should be ahead of Indiana. and I'll take that. And I'll take that. I'll take that. Honestly, well, Charlotte's pretty deep. As in,
they're 8th right now.
Yeah, so like they hover. They hover between that 7th and 9th.
And their problem because LaMelo was hurt, so they finally got LaMelo back. So he's making a difference for Charlotte. They're gonna make
LaMelo.
Last name is Ball. Solid.
Last name is Ball.
Solid.
Tell him, bro.
When LaMelo went out, they were in 4th place. When he came back, they were in 8th.
He's a big part of their team.
Man. Yeah. You talking about
solid. He's nice.
There you go. That's what we need
right there. I always said LaMelo was nice. Now the other dude, Lonzo, he just can't shoot. He can play solid defense, but he can't shoot. He's improved. I'll give him that, but he's not what I thought he would be.
Everyone thought he was going to be a franchise point guard. Yeah. I didn't think he was a franchise point guard.
Yeah, I thought the way they was hyping this dude up. I thought Lonzo was going to be like the next Chris Paul.
Yeah, I thought that's what I was thinking. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I was like, damn, like this is supposed to be like the next Chris Paul. I'm like, this is Lonzo. Like, like, bro, who are you for real? Like, you just all right.
Me and my cousin and a few friends had a conversation about that, and I've never been high on Lonzo as high as everyone else were. And it just kind of just proves this.
That's the thing, though, bro. Like the basketball world, they were acting like this dude was gonna be that dude, but he's not. You know what I mean? Nah. Didn't he come out in the same draft as Trae Young? Oh no, this is way before. Well, actually, I thought he was gonna be. I thought he was gonna be better than Trae Young. Just coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the player I'd like to be a better one out of the draft is Jason Tatum.
Yeah, he got drafted ahead of Jason Tatum.
Yeah, and I chose Jason Tatum. I was like, wow. I said Jason Tatum was probably the better player at that draft, and I also thought DeAndre Fox was the best.
De'Aaron Fox from
De'Aaron Fox. I thought Fox was the best point guard out of the draft before like all this was happening.
Right.
That's what I thought. I mean, but I don't know if y'all feel like Fox is better point guard than Lonzo.
Oh, he's better.
Okay.
De'Aaron Fox is he's a blur.
The steals. I mean, if you think about it, Donovan Mitchell going 13th and Bam Adebayo going 14th in that draft.
All these great players, and you took Lonzo.
The disrespect.
Dude ain't doing shit, bro.
Yeah, he plays good defense. He's now opening up. He's always played stout defense. We need
offense. Bro. This is the NBA. We need offense. This ain't the goddamn NFL.
But people let Rondo get away with that for years. But defense, he can shoot.
This is a different NBA. Hold up. No, this is a different NBA now, man. I mean, these guys is about putting the ball in that hole. Shoot. I mean, he played on the Boston Celtics, bro. What do you want him to be, a 20-point per game scorer with KG, Paul Pierce, and them dudes?
And look who Lonzo played with.
Who did he play with?
He had Ingram, right? I believe he had Ingram. I have to look at that lineup.
Ingram and
Baller.
Who else he played with? It wasn't. I mean,
with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Kuzma, Ingram.
Kuzma was a scorer. Ingram was a scorer. Kuzma clearly flamed out.
They were all young, though. I mean,
the Knicks guy, the guy with the Knicks.
Randall, you know what I'm saying?
They were all young, man. I mean,
okay, possibly we could have used some more scoring, but I mean a lot. But now, the way the time looks like, it looks like he wasn't supposed to be scoring on that team anyway, even back then. Yeah. Brandon Ingram is a baller.
The Knicks will forever take heat for drafting Frank Ntilikina instead of Donovan Mitchell, who's from New York.
Frank who?
Yeah, Frank Ntilikina.
Is he even in the league anymore?
He's on the Knicks bench as a point guard.
He riding the pine. Dang. I know he's saving his little ducats. Save him, Frank.
Donovan Mitchell from New York. His father works for the Mets. Lifetime New Yorker. And they said he wasn't good enough. And he fell to Utah at the 13th pick.
And that's crazy because I think like D Wade and a few other people was telling them like Donovan Mitchell didn't know if he was good enough, and they was like, "Nah, you're good enough." And look, and just put in that work, and they said, "Just get drafted, brother. Like, do it. You got it." And look at him. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I want to talk about this Western Conference side before we move into bets, just for the sake of time.
Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, so as it stands right now in the West, so we got the Jazz at 1, Suns at 2, Clippers at 3. Nuggets at 4, Mavs at 5, Trailblazers at 6. Due to the win last night, Lakers at 7, Warriors at 8, Memphis at 9, and the Spurs at 10. So out of that list, how you guys feel?
Could you imagine Lakers Warriors in the play-in game?
I mean, the way it's shaking out, that's what it's looking like right now.
Yeah, they're officially in the playoff game.
I know ESPN will be the happiest thing. TV will be so happy. That's their primetime playing game. Lakers Warriors.
Yeah, LeBron better get back out on the court, man. He better get his butt back out on the court because if them dude, I'm telling you, bro, if they go into that playing game without him, they might take that L and go home. You know what I mean? As sad as it might sound.
You know Steph Curry gonna go crazy.
Yo, he's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? Because I'm just looking at the Lakers like, who's going to guard Steph?
First of all, we know this is not going to happen because Steph doesn't have a team for it. But could you imagine Steph putting out LeBron James? Do you know how much the internet will break? It won't happen. But do you know?
It might. Oh, my God. Steph can go out. I mean, Lakers got
Lakers play defense though. That's the thing. The Lakers, when they really win a ball, they can shut you down, man.
They got that ball dude trying to cover Steph.
The ball white dude,
yeah.
Caruso
on Steph. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean that's a mismatch. That's a mismatch. But I mean, it just they can play defense. They play good team defense. Them rotating and making things difficult. As great as Steph is,
I don't see it.
In big games, dude folds up and goes home now. Don't sit there and try to act like he doesn't.
Good bet is fading the Lakers because you always get a good plus point number against them. The public loves
Lakers.
We are now fading the Lakers, ladies and gentlemen.
You're always going to get plus 6-7 points, knowing they're going to lose outright. I mean,
So how do you guys feeling about these Jazz and the Jazz and the Suns at the top of the West? Nobody, they don't scare. Suns. They don't really scare anybody to me, man.
I told people that Suns was here when they had to play. That when they had the when they did the playing tournament the first year, and everyone was like, "Oh well, now they're going to be the hunted." And look, they were out here fighting for the first seed.
They had a
the Suns are a problem. Will they win it? But they're a problem.
Yeah, I mean, the teams at the top of the West right now are the Jazz, Suns, and Clippers. Out of those three teams, I would just have to go with the Clippers.
Yeah. Jazz is another Atlanta Hawk 3.0. When they had Budenholzer and had everybody number one. I mean, no offense to them, like good team, but they're not
going to do much. Yeah.
Phoenix is still one of those. Like I don't know. We'll still have to see squads. Clippers is kind of already. I'm not going to say vetted because they didn't win. They collapsed, especially Plague P because he was not Playoff P, whatever the name he gave him.
He gave himself that name.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm at that point. I'm choosing Clippers for you just because they got Kawhi Leonard.
I mean,
so.
Just look at this. If the Lakers get by Golden State in the play-in, first round matchup is Utah.
The thing is, they can beat Utah.
They can definitely beat Utah.
Like I said, the Utah doesn't scare anybody.
But,
I mean, you got Donovan, Gobert.
Then they beat Utah, and then they got to play the Clippers.
They can beat the Clippers.
They can beat the Clippers too.
I would take the Clippers,
But
they can beat
I
the
would
Clippers.
take the Clippers too.
Yeah,
But they couldn't beat the Clippers.
Exactly.
Think about their path versus last year where they relaxed and did nothing versus Portland in the first round.
They were rolling. Yeah. They were rolling.
I mean, every round was just cruise until they got to the end. Now you got to play in against Steph and Draymond.
I mean,
not automatic.
I mean,
because
let's just say Steph, Draymond ain't gonna be doing shit.
Man. Let's be real. It's just Steph. Don't say Draymond. He's always been a scrub. Now that we hear he's always been a scrub. He's always been overrated. I don't care if they was talking about the big three, big four, whatever it is. Superstar. He was a scrub, and he always will be a scrub.
He is.
The key with the Warriors. Scrub, Warriors are boom or bust. They will blow a team out, or they'll get blown out.
Oh, there's no in between.
Yeah, because they're too perimeter oriented. If they come out making all their threes, they're gonna win by 20.
What's the one guy there was the guys who really let him down was Kelly Oubre and what's the other guy from Minnesota? What's the guy from Minnesota?
Wiggins. Yeah.
Well, man, Wiggins recently have been balling.
He's been balling, but he's not consistent.
When he's hot, he's hot. When he's not, he's not. I mean,
but that's the whole tale of Golden State. That's for everyone there.
He's a max player, max contract player.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's a max. He's supposed to be doing that he's supposed to be getting 20 a night. He's supposed to be doing 20 a night with Klay Thompson being out. Kelly Oubre is some shit though. He is big trash.
He dropped when he was with the Wiz. He was a
what happened to him?
He plays defense.
What happened to him? He plays defense, but he can't shoot for shit.
What happened? Yeah, Kelly.
And then he doesn't stop shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you know the saying, shooters gonna shoot. All right. That's it.
Is he a shooter?
He trying to be.
Shoot.
He waits until he's 2 for 12, and then he's still shooting.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine Steph sitting there in the huddle looking at him like, dude. But no, Steph keeps telling him, keep shooting. They're gonna triple team me. I'm gonna get you the ball. Keep shooting.
Yeah, she's shooting.
Yeah, I mean, Steph is a matchup nightmare.
I know he misses Klay. I mean, it's different when
Klay.
Look, you get triple teamed, you pass out to Klay and Durant. Now you're getting triple teamed, you're passing out to Wiggins and Oubre. Yeah. It's a little different story.
Yeah, that's a little different. He probably messes some assist numbers too.
Right.
Man, you talking about going 5-star restaurant for the pasta, and now you back at home eating ravioli. This is crazy. Out the can.
Major letdown.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Because you gotta look at that backcourt, man. They're probably Steph and Klay. They're probably the best shooting backcourt in NBA history.
I agree.
Best shooting backcourt, not the best backcourt, but the best shooting backcourt in NBA history. Mm-hmm. What point guard and shooting guard shot better than Steph and Klay? Yeah, I mean, it's crickets because there are nobody. I mean, they're the best. They were the best shooting backcourt in the NBA. I mean, Steph, he really came out and showed himself this season. Because to be honest, I thought it was the system and the pick and roll and the fact that they could shoot so well. You know, I mean, the closing the airspace. But he's doing all of this without his second wheel and Klay. So. Big ups to him, man. I mean, before we get into the bets, man, how you guys feeling about Portland, man? You think, if it's any year for Portland, this would be the year, man.
So offensively,
because with the West being down, the West is down.
Defensively, they're terrible.
Stop it, man.
Who's worried about Portland?
Okay, all right, fair enough. I mean, nobody's worried about them, but I mean, come on now. Dame Dollar might light him up, bro.
Dame Dollar can light him up, and Dame Dollar is phenomenal. But guess what? Dame Dollar by himself is not doing anything. CJ McCollum's been very inefficient. I can't even think about who else is on their squad.
Carmelo got Nurkic, Melo. I mean, Norman Powell. I mean,
Norman Powell, maybe. Okay, but not worry about Melo. We know Melo brings to the court, and Nurkic is kind of like that gray area, but nobody fit him either.
They don't play defense. I'm just
they don't
play defense. Yeah, I just want to see Dame Dollar do well, man. I just want to see him at least get to the Western Conference. Dame. Come on, man. Get your boys there, man. They're not doing it.
You gotta play defense to do that. I mean, and they don't.
Yeah, unless you Steph.
Yeah, unless you Steph.
Unless you Steph. That's just really it. Yeah, man. That's really it. Like. Yeah.
Man, let's get to these bets and close out, man. So, bets. So this week, since we're actually recording the pod today, on Saturday, fellas, so we're probably gonna be talking bets from Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, because I mean, it'll be going up Monday, of course. Mother's Day and all that stuff. So yeah, I get it. Okay.
Let me pull up the stuff here.
Let me go ahead and pull up myself. All right.
So if we start on Monday, definitely Blazers over the Rockets. Yeah, fade the Rockets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that West Coast game. I love that game. I also like on that same night, Monday the 10th, I like Milwaukee on the road beating San Antonio. I like that.
Now San Antonio's still fighting in the playoff mix, trying to get that play.
But the Bucks are trying to. They can easily. Let me look back at the standings. They can easily mess around. Well, no, actually they can't. I think they're at a solid second. But if Philly loses a few games, they can jump up to first. I think the Bucks still have something to fight for. And I just don't think San Antonio can really do much with a Bucks team that's playing pretty solid right now.
That's fair.
So. Let me see. Who else am I looking at here? I'm looking at the Clippers on the road playing Toronto on Tuesday, May 11th.
Toronto just played them tough. I mean, they were up. When was the game? I think it was Thursday. They were up the whole game, and Clippers won it in the last minute.
Poof.
Yeah, they were playing around with them. I ain't worrying about that. Stuff like that doesn't really scare me because, I mean, when you look at these guys on paper, some of these games, Kyle Lowry's not playing.
Raptors plus 14 did cash.
Oh, yeah, plus the money. See, I do money line now.
That's why I remember. That's why I remember that game. But it was shaky, though. They went up. They finally got the lead with like 3 minutes left. And the lead kept going 4, 5, 6. I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, okay, it's plus 14. These fools better not give up. Yeah. They were winning. I mean, at halftime, they were up like 12. So the plus 7 at half was the easiest victory ever. And then the full game, plus 14, I turned it off. I'm relaxing, thinking it's good. I turned it back on, and Toronto's losing. I'm like, oh, my gosh, here we go. Now I'm going to sweat this. But, yeah. But now the issue with that, they had a problem defending Spicy P. So he had 46 points.
Yeah, some games he does go off. I'll give him that.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, they couldn't. They tried everything. He was killing them. I was like, oh my gosh.
So, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean,
and Van Fleet was the other one. Van Fleet had 27 that game.
I'm going with.
So if it's another 14-point spread, take Toronto plus the 14. Take that 14 points and be happy.
Yeah.
Who you looking at, Jay? Who you liking?
I do like Washington over Atlanta.
Okay.
Of course, Houston.
What night is that?
This is Monday.
Okay, Monday night. Okay.
Yeah, so I like that.
Where's the game? It's at Atlanta.
I think so. I think so.
It's at Atlanta.
Yeah, it's at Atlanta. I still take Wiz. They're really trying to get in there.
Yeah,
of course, I got Indiana Pacers over Cleveland. If the money line is close, ladies and gentlemen, and you need some more money, look at that money line. Mm-hmm. Cleveland make it close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the Pels in Memphis alone. I'm taking Bucks over Spurs with Rome.
I love that.
Utah Jazz.
Now remember, Zion is out, so that.
Oh yeah, Zion's out the rest of the way.
That's why I left it alone. That's exactly why I left it alone.
That could be a lean Grizzlies.
And I'm gonna leave Utah Jazz alone because I don't know if they're gonna start sitting people by the time.
Because of them being
yeah. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
And Warriors are fighting for their lives.
Yep. So that may be a hell of a game. And Houston, you already know, fade them. Fade them. That's it.
Definitely. So Tuesday, take the points with the Knicks over the Lakers.
I was just about to say that the Knicks.
They're gonna give you about probably 8 points. So take those 8 points.
I don't think it'll be that high though, bro. I don't know.
Knicks over Lakers. Now that's
Knicks all the way in LA. Knicks have a horrible road record. Knicks are like 15-19.
If they do that, I'm definitely loading up on that game.
Oh yeah. Rome hitting the back.
Oh
hello?
Yeah. Hey,
call the service.
Okay.
Another count. Hello. You know what I'm saying?
That was stupid.
Julius Randle returning to LA.
Yeah. So it's a big game for him. Yeah.
He's gonna be motivated.
Man, I like that, and then I also like what's this? Wednesday. On that Wednesday, I
Yeah.
like the Brooklyn Nets at home to beat San Antonio. Because the Nets, they've lost a lot of games here lately, man. They got to get back on track, man.
Here's the issue with that. On Tuesday, they are on the road in Chicago on a night game late. That means traveling late night to get back to Brooklyn to play the Spurs, who will be sitting in New York for 4 days waiting for them.
I hear that, but I mean the Spurs. I'm not. That's shit like that don't scare me.
But what they end up doing is they'll rest KD, they'll rest Kyrie, they'll rest.
Yeah, if they rest them, then yeah. But like I'm saying, like taking into account, if you look at it, if these guys don't play, then I'm not betting it. But if they do, then I like it. But I see what you're saying, though.
Because that's always back-to-back for a team traveling from the road the night before to play a home game on a team against a team who doesn't have a back-to-back is always not the greatest. Because what teams do is they rest everybody.
Yeah. And then my last one, I love this one. So, I mean, if you got enough money, man, I will put a pretty decent chunk on this. So I like the Milwaukee Bucks on the road on Thursday the 13th to beat Indiana. So I love that bet. I mean, I love that bet. I just don't think Indiana has enough firepower. I think the Bucks are playing good ball right now. I don't think the spread or the money line will be crazy.
Yeah,
I'm hop on that. Look at the
turmoil.
Yeah, look at that Bucks game, man.
Unless the Bucks get ready for the playoffs and sit everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, look at
these last 5 games. You got to look at the lineups all the way up until
I was just
about
to get at that.
They're going to get these last second scratches. They'll just say game time decision, and then next thing you know, it's the G League team playing against whoever you're going against.
The G League team. Hey, G League teams ain't that bad nowadays, bro. We getting some picks out here, so yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, I mean, great episode. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Charge It to the Game Sports Podcast. We'll be back next week, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Yes, sir.